Hello, friends. We are doing this live tonight with Shara to tell you guys the biggest and best secret ever on that is how to get your paramedical tattooing covered by insurance. So I'm going to invite Shara to tonight. Hey, everybody.
Howdy. How are
Hi, friend.
This is new for us. I love it.
I know. Well, I feel like we've done a live before, but it was like a million years ago.
Yeah. And there was a big group of us.
There was. And then what was that platform called back in the day that you couldn't like not chat house, but do you remember it was what was
it was a totally different app where you could like
Clubhouse. Yes.
Yeah.
I was going to say chat house, Clubhouse, right. That was a fleeting trend for any of you guys who was a part of that. I never ever liked that, but I felt committed and that I had to do it just because if it was the latest and greatest, like you needed a bit of a platform and a following there. So anyways, it was too much. It's too much.
I'm glad we're back to Instagram.
I know. Me too.
I used to be so like enamored by you. Like anytime we would be on a live together, you and Shay both, I would just be like frozen.
Oh my God, stop. Oh my God, what's hilarious is you're frozen right now. Oh my God. Okay, hold on. We lost her, but she's coming back. That is so funny. Oh my God, that is awesome.
There, I'm back. That's
do you know where that ended off? Is no. You said, I was totally frozen, and then you froze.
Be careful what you put out into this universe.
That's right, girl. That's right. Oh my God. Okay, well, we have some really cool stuff to cover tonight. And I think this is so huge in our industry. And both you and I have been huge advocates for this for a really long time. So I could not be more excited to be having this live, sharing this news with not only our other paramedical friends, but even people who might be into getting into paramedical tattooing and knowing that this is an option because it really is a game changer.
It really is. It is.
So, Shara, tell us a bit about Pink Billing Solutions and how it came to be. Like, let's explain what we are talking about tonight for those who don't know what we mean by getting paramedical tattooing covered and what is this avenue that we're taking in order to make that happen.
Absolutely. So I have been teaching my students for 15 years now how to go about getting an MPI, how to get credentialed, how to go about getting reimbursed themselves through the insurance company. But it's a lot of work. And so I've noticed no one was doing it. I mean, I've maybe out of thousands, I maybe have 3 that actually went through all the steps to do it. And I couldn't be mad at them, myself included. I work for doctors. So they build the insurance and then they pay me. And so I didn't want to have to go through those hoops either because it is a lot. Getting it authorized, getting, the negotiating that goes back and forth, the hoops they ask us for, which can sometimes be really silly, like proof of cancer, even though they've spent tens, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars helping these patients. But there's a lot of games back and forth. And then collecting the payment. So honestly, what made me think of I can help or I want to help is my phone rang one day and there was someone else that was already doing this on the other end. They're an artist. They have gone through all the hoops to do this. And they were like, hey, we would love to help you do this, but they wanted $695 to onboard with them. And then they were going to keep 25 to 30% of it. And I was like, $700 is a lot of money, first of all. And I was like, no, absolutely not. And so I took a step back and I just kind of felt like that was God's calling me. Like I've been teaching them for so long, no one's doing it. And so I started doing some research into it. I called my attorneys, had forms drawn up and all that good jazz. I called billers who my doctors have worked with and I've known them forever and ever and ever. I called them and found out here we can make everyone's life a little bit easier. So what we have done is I have gone through all the process of being credentialed as Pink Boutique, not as Pink Billing, not as Shara or Ink Boutique. I've gone through all the hoops of being credentialed as Pink Billing Solutions, and so that all of these additional artists can then come on as a company as a 1099 underneath me. They do still need to get an MPI, which is free, takes about 15 minutes on the internet to do it, but they're not having to get credentialed, and so it's saving a lot of money, a lot of time, a lot of heartache. So that's kind of how this exploded. I was adamant we're going to get this down to where it's affordable for everyone who wants to join us. So it's $100 to onboard. The only reason we're even charging that onboarding fee is we do want to go in and make sure and do some research on you. We're going to stalk y'all a little bit. Make sure that you do have a tattoo license or that you're tattooing legally. And then also make sure that you have an insurance policy that's updated once a year. So that's what the $100 gets you, is stocked by my team.
Which is a whole lot better than $795. Like, I think in this industry, whether you're a PMU, paramedical, or both, we know that there are so many opportunities for us to spend money, and it certainly isn't always the best use. And I think this is something, that $100 that goes to such a good cause for your business to be able to do, to cover these types of tattoos. So let's talk about what type of tattoos are covered within this insurance, because that's an important one. I know that a lot of people do inkless stretch marks, so we need to categorize and inform our peeps of like what is this, what is the umbrella for all of these types of tattoos that we can actually cover.
Yeah, that's a good one too. So we're still kind of learning that as we go. What we do know is that it has to be a medically necessary scar,
Okay.
Meaning breast cancer, they cover the 3D areolas to be done. They'll cover the scar treatments, up to 5 scar sessions. Putting color in. Now, putting color in, if we're treating, say, the scar needs to be treated for texture. If we're putting a small amount of our pigment, which I think you just created, if I'm not mistaken, into
Yes,
take your catwalk. As long as we have a small amount of pigment in that serum that we're needling with, we are still implanting. So legally, we are doing what's in the code boundaries. So,
and just to quickly interrupt you, Shara, what we mean for some of you artists is that depending on your jurisdiction and what state you live in, there are different, I guess, rules essentially that, and parameters that you have to follow. And so what Shara is saying is that there are workarounds for us to still help you. And I don't want you to feel discouraged if in your area they say a certain thing, because Shara and I are here to help you navigate those waters, because it's different in every state. I'm from Canada, and it's different in every province as well. So sorry, continue.
No, I love that. It is really important, the wording of it, the way that we go about it. So I feel like it's always best to reach out and ask, just like you said. I mean, we're available to help. It's always better to ask. Medically necessary scars, they're not going to include like tummy tuck scars or something that was, if someone had a breast augmentation. However, those lines do start to get blurry. What if it's a C-section? Maybe it was an emergency C-section. Maybe it was a breast reduction that wasn't medically necessary. And so when we start crossing those boundaries into, is it a burn? Did they lose their eyebrows due to cancer and, that type of thing? There are all different types of medically necessary scars that they'll help us.
Yeah. How do people sign up to get involved with this?
So it's super easy. I'm assuming you're probably going to provide a link at the end of this. They click on the link. Kendall, thank God for Kendall. She has created some video tutorials for you that'll be available. The first step is going to be getting your MPI number. She has given you a little video there, and it tells you step by step. She's going through, I think, getting her own NPI. And so she breaks that down. She shows you how to do it. We need proof that you are tattooing legally. We do know that there are some states that you don't need a tattoo license, and we're aware of that. So just reach out to us. We'll work with you on that. But if you are in a state where you do need a tattoo license, we need proof that you are tattooing legally. And are requiring that you have a $1 million insurance policy liability to be working on scars or areolas, that type thing. So really,
so do people walk us through how this looks in a day in the life? Are they going to make this claim before or after the procedure has been done?
Absolutely. It is really, really important that we play by the rules. Insurance is there. It can be our best friend, and it can also be our worst nightmare. And so I relay this to my kids going in. If my kids need lunch money, of course I'm going to give them lunch money, but I don't like for my kids just to go in and get in my purse and take money. Yeah. So insurance is the same. Yes, we will help you, but you need to ask first. And in the insurance world, that lingo is called a pre-authorization. So we have to call, not me, but our billers, they call and actually get this pre-authorized or permission for you as the artist to then go in, perform the procedure, and then there is a form that you fill out and simply upload it to a secure link, and it goes out into La La Land, and the billers take over and do it all from there.
And I know what you had touched on before was that this was quite a complicated, confusing process to start. So this is so amazing because basically Pink Billing Solutions has taken all of that out of the equation. How many students do you guys have to date? Like, is this catching on? Are people getting this? Because one of the questions that just rolled in, and I encourage any other questions you guys may have, is this available in Canada? And it is not right now, which like Shara and I are sick about, but we're working on it. It's similar to state, how different the rules and regulations are for everybody. So no to Canada for right now, but yes to the US. And then tell us how things are unfolding for you right now.
Yeah, as of last week, when I checked back in with the billers, we've had 37 on board, and we've only up and running now maybe 2 weeks. So we're doing great, in my opinion. It's going great. We've started having the claims and everything roll in. It is a slow process, so just to be transparent, it usually takes a week to 10 days to get the pre-authorization back, and then once you have actually performed the procedure and have submitted that, it usually is taken on average 30 to 60 days to get a reimbursement. And so the reimbursement comes to Pink Billing. Okay. And Pink Billing takes that money, say for easy numbers, let's say it's $1,000. Pink Billing takes that $1,000, and then from that, I pay my team, I pay our billers, and then you get 80%. So you would instantly get a check for $800 on a $1,000 procedure, and then the rest goes to the team for doing pre-authorizations and answering all those questions and the back and forth that's going on.
The logistics in the background.
Cutting the checks is a big issue. Yeah.
What are there any other considerations that we need to talk about? Is there anything else you'd like to mention to people that might be important?
Yeah, just honestly to be patient. It is going to take a couple months before you start seeing any money roll in the door. But if you're consistently submitting claims every month, once you get caught up that first 2 months of starving, then you're going to consistently see a check coming in every month. And so that's how I've been paid for almost 20 years now. Okay. Is I don't get paid for 30, 60. Sometimes I think one of my highest paid reimbursements, they made me wait 6 months because they were really fighting back and forth. Okay. That usually is a really good sign. Insurance companies usually don't fight over the $1,000 claims or however. So time they start fighting, I'm like, yes, this is a good one. Like, I want to sit back and get popcorn out and watch the fight. So amazing.
We have a ton of questions popping in right now, Shara. Let me go through some of these so we can answer those. Are we able to submit claims for eyebrows if clients suffered eyebrow loss from chemotherapy, etc.?
Yes. So that is a road we are traveling down. My billers think that, yes, we have not actually billed it. If you want to try it out and be the first, but my billers think that, yes, because we are implanting color into the skin and it's due to loss of an eyebrow from cancer or chemo, that yes, they will pay to have that back. Now, what's kind of unknown there is what the reimbursements will be as well. Insurance typically works better in sessions, like they might pay you this month for your first visit, have your patient come back in 4 to 6 weeks at their touch up, then they pay you again. And so it's, it's structured usually by visits rather than just a 1 month. Right.
And I think the key message from that is probably like, it doesn't hurt to try, right?
Hard to try. We'll have an answer for you in, a week or two. Yeah. So it really doesn't hurt to try.
That's so cool. Okay, another one. Do you track the submitted claims?
Yes, we track. I don't. Thank you, Jesus. But
thank you, Jesus.
The team, they have it. It's all actually done electronically, and they're able to still pending, or they're waiting records or whatever. So we're able to keep an eye on what's going on.
All right. So we would do the procedure for free up front for client, and then wait till 30 to 60, I'm thinking days is what they said.
Correct. So you would perform the procedure. I do have some students or artists that are like, hey, I think I would feel more comfortable letting my patient know, like, I need to make at least $500, or however they've been handling that to make sure that they get at least X amount of reimbursement. And then if it comes in, they are reimbursing them back. I'm not sure how that's happening, but we're okay if you modify that somehow on your end to where, you get paid in advance and then you refund them.
Okay. So, can we include aftercare in their quote?
We don't get to do a quote, unfortunately. It is completely paid 100% by what is called a CPT code. And every time we do a procedure, that CPT code gets billed. Insurance has already pre-negotiated what they're going to pay. And so it's going to be different all over the board.
Yeah. And I think for us, it's like we're kind of navigating new waters. So it's like we want to do the absolute best and most that we can. And I think that's always our goal. So it's like, as we get more experience and more claims through, we're going to be able to give you guys more information and say like, okay, here's like a little workaround, or definitely, include aftercare, or, whatever those little details are.
That they're getting reimbursed for aftercare, but what we are working on right now is getting paid for a consultation. Okay. So if you were to get $80 for a consultation, that really helps with, aftercares and some of the little goodies that we, send home with our patients.
And that's the thing. We want, these tattoo artists to get compensated, as well as, in not encouraging only giving these types of services, but we want everybody to win at the end of the day.
Yeah, absolutely. It used to be forever and ever and ever, the only way to get reimbursed by insurance was to be in a doctor's office. Mm-hmm. And to be honest, when you're starting to talk about, $600 to $1,500 claims, these are minuscule claims for a lot of doctors out there. And so, but for us as artists, this is a huge, huge blessing. It's a huge win for us. It's a huge win for the patients, because we have patients who are able to come in and have scar camouflage work done 4 or 5 different sessions that would have never been able to afford that $400, $500, $600 each session price tag. And so it's allowing everyone to be able to come in, use those benefits, not just the wealthy.
Yeah. And I love that. And I know you love that too. We are always speaking the same language when it comes to that. Okay, next question. Are you providing the artist an explanation of benefits to show what is actually getting reimbursed?
Yes, so we will have an EOB. We will be completely transparent with everything. Yeah, a good question.
For prior authorization, what does insurance typically require? Consultation, certain forms, etc.
We are working on that. Some insurances are really, really easy to get along with, and they don't want anything. Others will want the doctor to actually authorize, not authorize, I'm trying to think the right word, and I'm slipping my brain, but more or less state that this is a medically necessary procedure for the patient. And so they usually can email that over.
It's like what you said before. It's like confirm they had cancer.
Exactly.
It's crazy. Okay. Do you recommend any third parties for a pay later plan?
Are you mean for the $100 sign up fee, or what do you mean by the pay later plan?
Okay, saltwater PMU. Let us know.
Yeah.
Please clarify. Let's get back to that one and we'll take the next one.
Okay.
Can we submit claims for patients who have waited many years after cancer to get areola tattoos or scar camouflage? That's a good one. I don't know the answer to that. Sure.
Absolutely. We can help them. It doesn't time out. Now, keep in mind, it is really, really important that we understand as artists and our patients understand that their deductibles and copays, they do apply to this. So, like right now, it's been pretty slow season. January 1st, everyone's deductible for the most part is starting over. And so let's say our patient has a $5,000 deductible. She is responsible for paying that first $5,000. And so you hit January 1st, if the only thing that patient is wanting done is areola tattooing, then that can get quite expensive for her. It's probably going to be less expensive for her just to do a cash pay of some sort. However, not always, because let's say our patient, all she needs is her areolas tattooed, but her husband, like she's like, last year was my year, but this year's my husband's year. Now he's got to go have a fused disc or whatever surgery. So if they know, hey, we're going to hit that 5,000, they don't really care what they're hitting that 5,000 with. So they could get their areolas, he could get his back surgery all in that 5,000. But keep in mind the deductibles do apply.
Okay, love that. Is this only for cancer? If clients have alopecia, if clients have alopecia, vitiligo, or some other disease process where PMU can be helped? That's a great one, because as even PMUs, we see like a big gamut, and then paramedical is even bigger. So how does that apply, Shara?
Yes, absolutely. So vitiligo being an autoimmune disorder, absolutely would apply. We're seeing like all these great toenails and fingernails that I'm so jealous. I've never gotten to do one, but I'm seeing them.
I love it.
Those people. I'm just trying to think that all the different types of surgical scars that we run across, like we truly are going to be able to help so many people. Unfortunately, we're not going to be able to help like stretch marks or breast augmentation, those type things, but we are going to be able to help so many other medically necessary scars. It's amazing.
What kind of documentation would the client need to provide to prove that brow hair loss occurred from chemo? Are there any special diagnosis codes that would need to be documented in the patient's charts?
So the coding would be done by our medical billing department for the CPT code, but it would be very helpful if their doctor would write them a prescription for eyebrows due to loss from cancer.
Mm-hmm.
Very helpful, or just any type of a statement from their doctor. And I cannot imagine that their doctor's not going to be like, yeehaw, let's do this.
1,000%. I think that is the easiest legwork to get done, and I think it's probably the sure shot for us or for you as Pink Billing Solutions to get that. Yep. Check for them. So
phone call. So that, I feel like that you can do on your end to help push this along through the insurance companies without them having to go back and forth and ask for it. The smoother and the faster you're going to get reimbursed. However, that's what we pay the medical billing team there to do, is if there is something that we need that can help, they're going to let us know.
Yeah. Okay, is there so many questions? I love this. Okay, is there a protocol like with any insurance that is to be followed as far as pricing goes? Insurance has a cap. So what is the cap for this?
So as far as insurance goes, it is a CPT code. We don't get to pick a number that we're reimbursed. It's a set number, and it's going to be different. Let's talk about United Healthcare, for instance. There are all different types of tiers within United Health. We are not going to go in and be asking for $20,000 for bilateral areola tattooing. Okay, it is going to be a code that we submit. It's not a dollar amount. So it's going to be a code, and the insurance, they already know what they pay for that code. Every time they see different tiers are going to be different. So the better the insurance, the higher they're going to pay for that CPT code. but they already know what they're going to pay when they see that CPT code.
And that's why the pre-auth is so important.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Okay. Sorry, I have so many questions. We don't mind. Do you have a client come? Yeah, I know, right? Do you have sorry, so many questions. Do you have a client that comes in for a consult, give Pink Billing their info, wait for the pre-auth, then do the procedure?
Yes, that is how we would love for you to do it. Have your patient come in for a consultation. Mm-hmm. I would like to see you do that anyway, just for the patient safety and for your safety, because you need that time to see what you're going to be doing, get a game plan, get a medical release from their doctor. And why not? If they're already going to go back and get a medical release, why not get a letter of medical necessity as well for while they're at it? And so do all that at the consultation, have them come back a week or two later, and then do the procedure once it's been pre-authorized.
Perfect. If you already have an NPI number for social activities or some other reason, can you use that same NPI number, or will you need another one?
So you will want to go in, you can alter the same NPI number that you have. You can alter that. Now, what I am not clear on, and I don't want to mess anything up, is if you need an NPI for multiple reasons. But I know, like for myself, you go in and we just had to alter it, the type of NPI that it was.
Okay. If clients are having trouble with insurance companies, is there a third-party way of getting clients on a payment plan?
Oh, well, that's a good idea. That we have all kinds of Klarna and Cherry. We have all kinds of great payment plans that are out there. Some with no interest. Some the interest is based upon how long they want to finance it and credit. But yeah. Cherry Pay. I just see someone mention that. Cherry Pay is great. Klarna, Afterpay,
Sezzle's another one.
What is it?
Sezzle.
I haven't heard of that one.
Yeah,
PayPal.
Sezzle's popular. Okay, Shara, does Pink Billing Solutions provide a pre-auth form?
That's what we obtain for you, is a pre-auth form.
Exactly.
Now, insurance companies don't require it, and some do. You know, it would be really nice if they all did the same thing, but they don't.
I know. And this is like where the whole confusion is like eliminated, because they're just dealing with you guys. And I cannot emphasize that enough, you guys. This just takes all like the hairiness out of the deal. It makes it so simple.
Well,
okay. Sorry, go ahead.
I'm so sorry. If we were just doing this as an individual, every time we do this each month, like we're starting over, it's a new lingo. And so for us now as Pink Billing, this is what they do all day, every day. The lingo becomes just normal talk for them.
Yeah.
And the process, the more that we do this, the more that we file, we're already going to start to know, okay, this is this, you don't need this is this company, they're going to pay better.
Yeah.
Like we'll start to understand the reimbursements better the further into this we get.
Yeah, 100% agree. The more time, like the more simplified this whole thing is going to get, that Shara can streamline this even more, although like it is very close, but I love that it's just going to get better with time, essentially.
And we'll be able to tell you, okay, yes, that hysterectomy scar, we can get that covered, or no, we can't. Until then I say, let's ask, let's try to fight for it.
Well, and that's just it. Like you and I are so like-minded in the sense of like, why not? Like, let's try. This is a little bit of the wild, wild west. It's uncharted territories. And we just like, we want to do the best we can. We want everyone to get things for free, right?
Absolutely.
Okay. If you bill with our NPI, would you be out of network with all insurances, or do they pay Pink Billing in network?
Both. Some of our patients are going to have both in network and out of network.
Okay. Is there a system we'll receive access to assist with tracking claiming, or is that pending for our own books organization, especially since payments may be pending for 2 months?
Okay, say that again. They're not going to have access, unfortunately, to our file system.
Yeah.
Because we have literally had to go in and create individual files for everyone.
Yeah.
But we will definitely keep you updated, especially at the 30, 60-day mark. If we haven't had money, you haven't had payment, we will definitely update you and let you know what's going on. We will let you know, hey, we received this and your check's coming. So yeah.
It's just really like the behind the scenes work that's happening, that it's just like, it's too much red tape to keep that
A
all,
lot
but
of
like,
matter.
yeah, you will be in the loop.
Yeah.
Okay, if
They
you use,
call all the time and they're like, "Oh, we need your EIN number." And I mean, they're constantly calling for little piddly stuff that we know they have. So
yeah. Okay, if you use Square, you have access to Afterpay 2. You have to turn it on to the desktop version. 6% fee. Many people don't know that. Okay, that's an FYI. It's a toggle button, someone said. I'm not like 100% familiar with this strain of conversation.
me.
Okay. Is there a monthly fee for pink billing? How does the pink billing make their money? Is there a certain fee that goes to pink billing?
Yeah, it's a great question. So we take $100 a year is what that is. And the only reason that that is annual is every year we're going to come stalk you again and make sure that you have a current tattoo license and that you renewed your insurance policy. So it's $100 a year. As soon as we get that claim, we take pink billing's portion is 20%. You get 80%. So if we get $1,000 check, you're getting 800. We keep the 200. We pay our billers out of that. We pay the ladies cutting your check and keeping you in the loop for all that.
Trust me, it is so worth it. If you have been down this rabbit hole to do it yourself, you guys don't even know. And also, just to kind of give you that heads up, if you weren't here for the beginning of the live, it was $700, or was it 800, Shara?
$695.
Oh, $695. Okay. So truly, like, you cannot go wrong with this. She is a straight shooter. You guys, she's going to take care of you. And this is the way to simplify this process that really hasn't been accessible to us as paramedical tattooers. So, okay, another question. I had a client recently ask if she could get Medicare to pay. I have no idea about Medicare.
So Medicaid, Medicare, it will pay. They usually are not very good payers, just so you know. So doesn't mean that we're not going to help them, but just know on the front end of that it's not going to, they're not going to pay very well. Reimbursement's going to be low.
Yeah.
But
Well,
I feel like this is, I don't know, for me, I've done this for 20 years now. The doctors that give me a percentage of the insurance, I usually get 50% is what I've been making my whole life. And I felt like I made a good living at 50%. You're now getting 80%. But keep in mind, sometimes I feel like as artists, we are making more money than we really deserve to be making. And then these other times we're not making enough. And so for me, my past experience has been, it all evens out in the end.
1,000%. It's like all a wash, you guys. Just do your best, have the best intentions, and I think that's how you are going to carve yourself a path in a paramedical tattooer's world. I know we're already past the 30-minute mark, and Shara, I just want to say thank you so much for not only creating Pink Billing Solutions, but being available for this live. We will save it, repost, and we're just so excited to share this with you guys.
Well, thank you for helping me get the word out. I have to say thank you to all my artists that have already joined. Everyone's been so helpful and patient. And, you know, I think we're all just so excited to be in this ship together. So thank you.
So
I'm excited.
oh my God, I am too. I love, 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 love working with you. I get to see you at conferences and chat with you on text, and I think that's amazing. The link is in the bio, you guys. That is how you're going to get the rest of this information, get it started for you. We cannot say anything but good luck. We wish you the best in being the most incredible paramedical tattoo artist that we know you can be. If you guys need education, both Shara and I provide paramedical tattooing education. We love what we do. We're passionate. You cannot go wrong with us. Am I right, girl?
Absolutely. Absolutely. This is such a powerful, emotional, rewarding industry. And I mean, I've met you, we've met Shay, we've met Bianca. I mean, we've just met so many amazing artists that I'm just honored to be sitting here. So I love you. Thank you for
You too, friend. Thank you. Thank you to everybody that joined in. I think we answered a ton of questions. This will be posted. Check in the bio, all the things. We will keep you guys in the loop. And if you have any questions, we will be here all the time to answer them.
Yep.
Thank you.
Good night.
Have a good night, everybody.
Love you.
Okay, bye, guys.